Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final round of the Midwest F2 campaign here at the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. 20 corners make up this 5.5-kilometer circuit, with the circuit paying homage to a few of other famous tracks, such as Silverstone and Hockenheimring. Track limits penalties can certainly steal the show, but do expect a good quality amount of overtakes as well. This track is very fun, I'll give it that. It's not my favorite. As it looks like we're about ready to get into the qualifying session already for the final round. It pretty much seems like El Majaco, as he is currently 30 points ahead of Cota Thomas. Really, all he needs to do is finish the race, and he will be champion of the division, which El Majaco, by the way, has been absolutely the most consistent driver on the grid by far. Cota Thomas has won more races. However, it has seemed like just sometimes maybe some things for that high-tech team haven't been all too smooth. As we are going to go along with Dusty Lusky, he's been a hot qualifier so far this season, out of turn 20, down this pit straight here, and up the very large hill up into turn 1. It's obviously uphill braking zone, so you can feel free to play around with that as much as you like in the race. Super softs and softs, I believe, are the compounds this weekend, out of the first corner, back down the hill through turns 2, 3, and 4, and this group of corners here are modeled after Maggots, Beckett's, and Chapel from that of the Silverstone circuit. They do look very reminiscent of them, and they act very reminiscent of them as well. Out of that corner there into Sector 1, how does that go for Dusty? Currently P2, P3, thereabouts. Doing quite well at the moment. He does have to look out for track limits, especially through this section of the track, up the hill, 9, 10, down the hill through 10, all the way down into this tight hairpin of turn 11. This one is also another hot spot for overtaking here. And then down into the DRS, I'd say straight. It's not really straight, isn't it? DRS bend here, going down the back straight down into turn number 12. Look at him riding really alongside the right-hand side over the curbs, over the boards and everything, down into turn 12. That's a good spot for overtaking. Typically 13, 14, 15. This one is very tough to get correct even in the best conditions here. Definitely watch the wheel spin. I believe this is the corner here modeled after Hockenheim. One of these. Really got to be careful of oversteer on the exits. On the inside of the corner does have a little bit of a drop to it, and if you catch on to the wheel spin too soon, then you know, that's really all there is to it. It looks like El Majaco back there in 16th. What's happened to him? He has invalidated his lap, has El Majaco, back there in P16. Dusty Lusky coming to the line now. It's across the line he goes, and it looks like pole position there for Dusty Lusky at 1:45.184. That does seem like a quality lap. And El Majaco has invalidated his lap. Tough for him. Dusty Lusky on pole, super second. I believe his best qualifying result of the season. It's a front row lockout for the Trident team. A-Dub in third, making his debut, actually. Takes P3 in the HWA. Will Ans in fourth. Killer XL fifth. Cota Thomas sixth. Valentine seventh. Shariah eighth. Nikki 64 ninth. Unholy Red Eye 10th. Jackson Altman 11th. 12th is Ray 46. 13th Beagle Hunter. And then both, look at this, both of the Virtuosi drivers not being able to find their way around the circuit cleanly. Dirty Boy Jackson, one DSQ, El Majaco, another than Freedom Flyer, rounding out the field here. Should be an interesting one here. Very, very excited. El Majaco, once again, 30 points ahead of Cota Thomas here today. So Cota Thomas realistically has to win and set the fastest lap, and also have Jacko DNF if he wants this championship, or just pretty much exist and he'll be fine. Very, very close on points. Jacko really only needs P14, so he's going to just stay out of the stuff, is what he says. Very reasonable idea. We look at the constructor standings as well. Virtuosi 324 to 278. Let me do the math on that real quick. 324 minus 278. It is only a 46-point gap between the Virtuosi and the high-tech team. And the high-tech team got a much better qualifying result than that of Virtuosi. We might potentially see a battle for the Constructors' Championship here tonight. It is 46 points. That at least means both drivers from high-tech, I'd say, have to be at least in the top 5 to get close to that, and Virtuosi, they'd have to have themselves quite a poor day. But the formation lap is starting here. Remember, we are on. We do have, sorry, I'm just trying to find the detail. So we have medium and super soft tires, and it looks like most drivers have actually done the medium tires. Now, this is interesting. Most tracks won't let you kind of swap back and forth like that, but it looks as if all these drivers have been able to. If the game lets you do it, by all means, go ahead and do it. Only 4 drivers choosing to start on the super softs here tonight. Those being Nicky 64, Jackson Altman, Ray 46, and El Majacco. Dusty Lusky on pole. I tell you what, this guy has been ever so close to taking home wins, and it's just such an unfortunate bout of bad luck that he's been having. Him and Super as well, both these guys, quality F2 drivers. I mean, I remember battling Super for wins. This looks like Freedom Flyer and Jacko have DSQ'd. What's actually happened there? Not quite sure. A-Dub, this is the interesting story to watch here, making his Midwest F2 debut, and he is 3rd on the grid. Very interesting. He's looking to bring home a good result for the HWA team. Will Ann's down to the inside. No, that almost seemed like something. El Majacco, not happy there with Freedom Flyer on the formation lap. As we start rounding through Sector 3 now. Should be a very entertaining race here today. Not a full grid, only 16 drivers. That's not ideal, however. We've had a lot of drivers. We've had a few, actually, relinquish their seats, and then a few more came in. We got, I think, all of them filled. Sometimes, that's just how it is. Sometimes you just aren't able to make all the races, and I know for a fact that I was already listening to Cake Thomas earlier on in the Discord saying that he had barely been touching this game, as I believe there is some perk that allows you to get F122 out early, and that's exactly what he's been doing, and I don't quite blame him either. We have both of the front wing angles on that of the Trident boys here today. I tell you what, this game just gives me I hate it. So very glad that F122 is out in a couple of days, because this game has given me nothing but trouble. As we're here, the lights are turning on for the final round of the season. We have 4 and then 5, and they're off. Now, how is it going to play out into turn number 1? It looks like back there, Unholy Red Eye has actually gotten a great start. Dusty, Super rather, not the best start. Up into turn 1, up the inside comes Jackson Altman. How many cars is he going to hit there potentially? I'm not quite sure. He's made up a lot of spots though. Hitting into Shariah Coleslaw. Around the outside of that goes Beagle Hunter. Wow, a very tricky first start here. Someone ahead's gone off Super. Has he potentially picked up wing damage? It certainly looks as if that may be the case. Either that or he's just outright missed the chicanes there. Very possible. That moves A-Dub up to second, Dusty in first, and it looks like here Valentine battling here with Cake Thomas, dropping back now with Super. Shariah Coleslaw, he's probably going to be looking to get around him here shortly. Jackson Altman to P9, but I'm not sure how clean that start of the race was. Jackson Altman now. Oh, man, and Jackson Altman. Oh, God. Man, I'm sorry, but that was quite the poor maneuver to make, if you ask me. That was not good at all. Well, as the race continues here, El Majacco has P10 down to the inside on Freedom Flyer. No, that's actually Super, excuse me. Does make the position happen. That moves him up to 9th. A-Dub still trying to reel in Dusty Lusky here. I tell you what, if A-Dub pulls home a podium on his debut, that would be absolutely spectacular. Not only for him, but for the HWA team. Looks like towards the back, we do have a little bit of shuffling about. Maybe Shariah's gone around. No, he's actually battling side by side with Dirty Boy Jackson here as they file their way through Sector 3. Contact being made. The international hand signal of unpleasure there. Going up in the cockpit of Shariah Coleslaw in the high-tech. Dusty Lusky with the fastest lap. As look so far, most of it has calmed down. Now here's Will Enns. He's looking to get towards the back of A-Dub here. Really looking for the left rear tire. Hasn't been able to make anything happen so far. Looking a little bit further back, Ray 46, he's under pressure from El Majacco. Certainly looking like he's got a potential to make any of these moves happen. He doesn't need to be too aggressive, mind you. Really just finish the race and you'll be champion. The real question is, though, you have, oh, and now Shariah, this was interesting here, as Super gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This was interesting at the beginning of the race. It certainly seemed as if the high-tech team had a viable chance to win this Constructors' Championship, and now, with Shariah and Dirty Boy Jackson down there, P15 and P13 respectively, that looks like that may have wrapped it up for Virtuosi. Looks like Super getting around Dirty Boy Jackson there on the hairpin. Round the right side goes Dirty Boy Jackson. Shariah Coleslaw watching in pursuit there. El Majacco to the left side of Ray 46 as they head down the straight. DRS has not been activated yet, but Majacco down to the inside and does eventually make that move happen. That looked great there. Will Ann still trying to work his way up to A-Dub here. Killer XL still trying to find the left rear tire. Oh! Big slide and big save from Killer XL. Jackson Altman, he looked to have gone wide just then. Certainly trying his best. Dirty Boy Jackson, can he perhaps try to get around Unholy Red Eye? A little bit of oversteer just then. Not bad at all. Ooh, he's going to go quite wide there, actually. Dusty Lusky, fastest lap. A-Dub now setting the fastest lap. This is interesting. I tell you what, this guy might be a force to be reckoned with in the future. DRS now enabled. We'll be having DRS this time by as A-Dub files in behind Dusty Lusky. He's actually putting quite the gap to Will Anns here. 1.5 seconds nearly. Jackson Altman and Kate Thomas now side by side. Contact there potentially. That certainly looked close. Have to keep an eye on it here. Jackson Altman looking to Kate Thomas here still. Weaving his way through the Walmart version of Maggots and Beckett's. Still trying to look to the inside on Kate Thomas. Super, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warning. We'll pick up with that in a minute. But now here's A-Dub. Can he potentially find a way around the leader of Dusty Lusky? Down into turn 11. Certainly looking for it. He's going to have DRS. That means he's going to have absolutely an opportunity. A-Dub, DRS open. I don't think he's got enough of a run here to make anything happen. Look towards the back. Jackson Altman, can he make a move on Kate Thomas heading down the straight? As we look at his gearbox for no apparent reason, he's going to go to the right side. Is he going to make the move happen? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Not quite yet. Still side by side now. Kate Thomas on the inside. Jackson Altman on the right here. Can he potentially still find the move? It's great wheel-to-wheel racing with these two. Still nothing in it then, and Jackson Altman finally moves past it here, and now here comes El Majacco wanting in on this battle. Looks like Ray 46 and Freedom Flyer side by side here, heading through turns 13 and 14. This is a great battle these two are off to. Kate Thomas, can he find his way around Jackson Altman as they head around the turns 17 and 18 now? Down the pit straight, A-Dub might have a chance here at Dusty Lusky. He's gotten a much better go through turn 20. DRS wide open. How gutsy does he take it? Dusty Lusky down to the inside. A-Dub is going to still take the right side, and it doesn't look like any move is going to be made now. Jackson Altman and Kate Thomas side by side as they go up the hill. This one's going to be the battle to watch. El Majacco in behind. Can he potentially make a move on either one of these guys, assuming a mistake could be made? No, not quite yet. Still side by side between these two. Still looking after it. Still doing as best they can. Still side by side. It's wheel to wheel. Bit of contact there. Thankfully, nobody came out in the gravel or anything. That was just a lot of close racing there, to be completely honest. Don't really see if Jackson did anything wrong then. Really good close racing between those two. Can't complain whatsoever, but now you can see maybe the tires starting to fall off. Those who are on the mediums certainly have been at an advantage, it seemed, for the most of the time. However, if you look at a driver like El Majacco, how much is he going to be struggling with oversteer and whatnot? Let's see now. DRS open for the Virtuosi. Kate Thomas trying to file in behind Jackson Altman. Holding the line nicely. Kate Thomas, can he find the right side? He's going to certainly try. If he makes a mistake, this may open the door for Jacko, and Kate Thomas looks to be getting around him here. Still side by side now. Jackson Altman still to the left. Still hasn't given up the position. Still side by side. Really great racing between these two. Eventually three once Jacko gets in on it. Kate Thomas giving him plenty of room to the inside. Deep into the corner goes Jackson Altman. El Majacco now on the bottom. Can he get both of them? Jackson Altman's going to cover off a move before they go into turn 16. Around the left side, can Jacko make anything happen? Nothing yet. Contact there. Big contact between Jacko and Jackson. And now can Cake Thomas find the inside of Jackson Altman? He's certainly going to try. This opens the door for Freedom Flyer as well. It's going to be a 4-car battle for this 5th spot. Meanwhile, at the top, A-Dub still trying to reel in Dusty Lusky. But at the time being, Freedom Flyer down to the inside. He overtook Jackson Altman there. He wants the inside of Cake Thomas. Heavy on the brakes. Big slide there for the Prema. Right to the left rear tire. Contact being made. It looks like all for now, though, still okay. El Majaco, mind you, has gotten up to P5. Contact made now. More contact. Drivers doing everything they can to perhaps come away unscathed here at the Circuit of the Americas. And somehow, some way, everybody stays okay. Freedom Flyer picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings on entry to the complex there, as Valentine now picks up 3 seconds. Contact being made. Freedom Flyer and Jackson Altman getting together. Jackson goes into the grass. Oh, I really hope Jackson doesn't retaliate there. He's got his teammate in front of him. I tell you what was initially hard racing, I think may have accidentally spilled over then, perhaps. Very good efforts from all 3 of them, I'll give him that. Jacko as well. Jacko got around all of them. Ray 46 round the right side now, looking to get around Freedom Flyer. Freedom Flyer goes deep, big contact there. Jackson Altman, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. You can see the graining on the right front tire. His teammate, Ray 46, down to the inside now. Still side by side between the two HWA drivers. And somehow everybody comes out. Actually, no, one of them's in the dams. That's correct. Jackson Altman, I believe, is in the dams. It's the same color, really, but you know the drill. Anyways, A-Dub at the top of the grid. And we have a car that's going around. Cake Thomas has DNF'd. And what's happened? Where has Cake Thomas gone off? He's really over there on exit of turn 18. A full safety car on track now, but what happened? Jacko comes in, Freedom Flyer comes in, Jackson comes in, Ray comes in, Super comes in, Valentine comes in. Cake Thomas saying he's got a huge snap of oversteer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has confirmed that El Majaco is your Midwest F2 champion with that. Cake Thomas just lost the car, it seemed, and he went around, and his championship hopes are over. And I hate to say it, but I think the same will apply to that of the high-tech team. As Virtuosi had an advantage anyways, they now have an even bigger one in what seems to be perhaps insurmountable. And I gotta say, I know Cake Thomas is probably devastated now, but you really have to commend the effort that the lad made throughout the entire season. I tell you what, if you're El Majaco, I will say that throughout these F2 campaigns that he's had, he's really gone ahead and realistically, I don't want to say wiped the floor with people, but he's been at a clear advantage. This season has been the most competitive season of Midwest F2 for Jacko, for Cake Thomas. Both of them really gave it their all. Both of them won races. Both of them put on one hell of a display. Absolutely no shame in the effort that Cake Thomas has put in. I know that he's probably beaten up now, but I tell you what, he put in one hell of a good effort. And again, it was just at the end of the day the consistency that the Virtuosi driver of El Majaco brings to the table. As the safety car, as Dusty Lusky comes in and picks up 5 seconds for speeding into the pit lane. Will Ans comes in, Killer XL comes in, Jacko is a bit far behind, so it looks like perhaps Dusty and A-Dub and these guys here are going to be out to somewhat of an advantage when they come out of the pits. Super softs going on. A-Dub at the end of it is going to be off to the advantage, considering that Dusty has the 5 seconds. Will Ans in behind. I believe Will Ans actually, well, I don't think he actually got around Killer XL then. I think perhaps that's just how it looked. However, we do have, what is it, 10 laps to go still? 10 laps to go. Well, it's going to be 9 this time by Dusty Lusky to the lead, and what could have been his first win, I think. He's got quite the task ahead of him now. However, this opens the door for A-Dub and Will Ans. Now you can see Killer XL coming in. Interesting. I don't think... oh, is he going to put the mediums back on here? Ah, interesting. So this is... I tell you what, oh, God, his eyes are popped out of his head. Okay, anyways. I tell you what, Killer XL might be taking a page out of El Majaco's book here, as in we saw in Canada a few weeks ago where an El Majaco pit, put on the required compound, did the lap, came in again, put on the other compound. I tell you what, Killer XL might be a factor at the end of this one. You never know. El Majaco up to 4th, meanwhile. Been a great day for him. Can't complain. He, I think, took the smart way around it and just kind of said, look, I only need to be 14th or better. And, yeah. Well, safety car in this lap. If you missed it, Dusty Lusky has come in, picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane on his stop, followed by A-Dub, Will Ans, and then Killer XL all went in to fit the super soft tires after everybody else came in and fit their set of tires. They had the extra time to come in and make the stop. Well, what happened was Killer XL played a bit of a mind game here. Came in, put on the super softs, went back out, did the lap on the super softs, came back in, put the medium tires on. So now, assuming that these super softs have somewhat of a fall off here at the end of the Grand Prix, you might have a chance. That goes for El Majaco as well. Don't forget him. He's also on those medium tires. Dirty Boy Jackson yet to stop still. Killer XL has put on a set of old tires. Interesting. So he probably thinks that they can last towards the end. But meanwhile, green flag in the air here in Austin, Texas. Dusty Lusky has the 5-second penalty. In behind is A-Dub, looking to pick up the win on his debut. What a story that would be. He's going to try to switch to the right, then switch back to the left again. To no avail. And he's got Will Ans to his inside as well. Looks like Ray getting around super back there. Or looks like perhaps something's happened. Killer XL and Beagle Hunter trading positions back there. It looks like Will Ans trying to get to the gearbox of A-Dub here as they head through the Walmart brand of Maggots and Beckett's, and Valentine's picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. That puts him up to 6. As you can see, the penalties on screen now. Super and Jackson Altman side by side here. And I believe here it is, Jackson Altman to the inside. Can he find it? Still there. Still looking for it. Super's going to be down to the inside. Ray 46, can he make a move happen? Perhaps. Very good battling between these groups of drivers. We had some great battling between Jackson Altman and Cake Thomas, and Cake Thomas unfortunately DNF'd as a result of a snap of oversteer is what it said he had, as Will Ans to the gearbox now of the, what is that? That is the, I believe that's the Dams? No, it's the HWA of A-Dub. The move doesn't actually be made. Still side by side now. Big dive from Will Ans. Somehow no contact was made there. That was quite close. Now all the while these two drivers battle, Dusty Lusky, I'm sure, is actually edging out that advantage he has at the top of the grid. And it looks like finally Will Ans getting around A-Dub then. Hopefully no damage or anything has happened, because I tell you what, A-Dub has been putting on one hell of a performance here today. Really doing his best. He qualified, I believe it was second at the beginning. No, he did qualify third. So now the gap 2 seconds between Dusty Lusky and Will Ans. Dusty setting the fastest lap, 1:47.2. El Majaco in third. He's got Super actually quite close behind, although Super is on 9 seconds of penalty, so that battle really won't matter all that much in the end of it. Looks like Ray 46 getting around Jackson Altman here. Jackson way across the curb there. And Freedom Flyer getting around Ray then as well. And I think Ray realistically just has to play it calm. And no, and A-Dub has picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. We have a pile up towards the back. Nicky 64 has gone off. But oh, so unfortunate for A-Dub. I tell you what, he may not get the good result he was hoping for today. However, I have been thoroughly impressed with his performance so far. Now, mind you, that gap, at the moment, still being held. Super down to the inside on Jacko. This will be interesting here. Still looking for it now, and Super does make the move. Nicely done, then. A-Dub looking for the move on Will Ans here. No DRS just yet. 0.2 of a second the gap. It looks like Ray and Jackson Altman still battling back there. A-Dub, I think, perhaps wanted a move, but Will Ans closed it off quite nicely. Jackson Altman down to the inside now on Ray. Does he make it happen? No, he's going to file back in line. Valentine, I believe, getting around Unholy Red Eye there, albeit aside from penalties, so it did look a good move. Jackson Altman still to the gearbox of Ray 46 here. Perhaps as they head into turn, whatever this is, I believe it's 13 and 14. Yes, it is. Down to the inside, but Jackson Altman really overshoots the corner and has to go quite wide. I believe he is probably going to lose a position in the progress. Remember, Dusty Lusky's got 5 seconds of penalty. Unholy Red Eye now picking up 3. Meanwhile, Dusty Lusky, that gap now, 3 seconds, 3.2. DRS enabled, so it really is A-Dub in quite the gap here. Will Ans and A-Dub for that matter. A-Dub is going to have DRS to get around Will Ans, and that's going to be one heck of a battle there. I tell you what, Dusty Lusky might still have an opportunity to win this race. Super in 4th at the moment. He got around Jacko, although Jacko, I'm sure, is going to be moving up well within the podium places after penalties are all said and done. Ooh, over the curbs again goes A-Dub. Back gap to the leader now. So it looks like at the moment Dusty would be dropping back to P4, it seems, making Will Ans take the win. Actually, not even that. He might have even be down to like 3rd, perhaps. It wouldn't actually be that far, I don't think, considering drivers behind him also have penalties. A-Dub now, can he find a way around around Will Ans here? Let's see if he can. Up into 6th, DRS enabled. He's going to look to the inside. I tell you what, this is going to be a good move here. He's going to have it well before the corner. Nicely done then from A-Dub. Heading into turn 12. Towards the back, oh, it looks like Shariah getting overtaken here by Killer XL. Somebody, it looks like they went off up ahead. Not quite sure who that was. Killer XL and Shariah still battling there. Remember, all these guys really battling for position. They're all on 6 seconds of penalties. Freedom Flyer, he's got 6 seconds, but he's going to look to the inside of Jacko, No, and Beagle Hunter picking up 3 seconds of penalty. Dirty Boy Jackson, I tell you what, he's going to be picking up a lot of positions at the end of this one. He is currently at no penalties, and all the drivers in front of him have at least 3 seconds. Freedom Flyer doing his best he can to find the back of Jacko here. I know he's got penalties, but it's not really going to matter, is it? I believe we still have 5 laps to go. Freedom Flyer, is he going to look for Jacko here? Down to the inside he goes. Remember, these two had a bit of a problem on the formation lap. They did make contact. Both of them got disqualified. Still side by side now. Jackson Altman, 3 seconds, multiple warnings. That puts him up to 6. All of these drivers now at level pegging. Super tried to find the back of Will Ans here. Eventually, Freedom Flyer. Can he perhaps find a way around Elma Jacko? Ray 46 is in pursuit as well. Jackson Altman, Valentine, Unholy Red Eye, and Killer XL all potentially battling for position here. Beagle Hunter, that moves him up to 6 seconds. And Beagle Hunter has retired from the session, and he's done it. Ooh, has he done that on track, or has he actually crashed? That's tough. I'm not entirely sure, but we do have a yellow flag on track now. Can Will Ans find his way around A-Dub here? To the inside he goes. No safety car, no virtual safety car, and Will Ans gets the move. Nicely done there from the Carlin driver. Freedom Flyer does actually make a move around Elma Jacko, albeit it's not quite going to matter in the end, but at least you can have somewhat of a bragging right there that you got around Elma Jacko. No, I tell you what, that is quite the achievement, if I do say so myself. Jacko really just needs to play it calm. He doesn't need to do anything ridiculous here. He's making his way 4 laps in between him and a championship. I believe his second, at least, in Midwest F2 competition. Let's actually check the record book, shall we? So, remember Elma Jacko taking the title, Midwest Season 2 and Midwest Season 4. We had the break last season. This season, Season 6, the rebirth of Midwest F2. And Elma Jacko is about to become a 3-time champion. Meanwhile, though, it looks like A-Dub under pressure here from Super, rather. I don't think anyone's willing to get too risky then, hopefully. Oh, look at this. The gap now, 4.3 seconds between Dusty and Will Ans. That gap has been getting increasingly larger the more that these drivers battle. 4.5 the gap now. Dusty Lusky has half a second in between himself and a maiden win. could we be potentially looking at, I'd say, kind of an upset here, considering the penalties that he has. Man, oh man. 4.6 seconds. A-Dub hasn't found a move around Will Ans just yet, and I tell you what, that's definitely what Dusty Lusky's going to be hoping for here. Or perhaps Super can force his way into something as well. Ray 46, P7 at the moment. Dirty Boy Jackson, can he look to get around Unholy Red Eye and Killer XL and perhaps try to make more of a move on Jackson Altman and Valentine? Certainly possible. Super just kind of playing it calm here. He's got 9 seconds of penalties. I don't really think that certainly not in contention for the podium. He might even find himself outside the top 10, although a lot of the drivers do have penalties, so we'll find out. 4.6 seconds, now down to 4.5. 3 laps to go. Dusty Lusky has, once again, 0.4 of a second in between himself and a maiden win. Killer XL, 3 seconds of time penalty. That puts him up to 9, and Unholy Red Eye for that matter as well. 4.67. Will Ans has to keep these last 3 laps absolutely spotless if he wants to win. I think Will Ans has only won 1 race in his Midwest F2 career, and I believe it was a sprint race as well. It very well could have been. I believe it was actually, I actually raced with him in Baku, and he had the win by miles. And he may be looking for his 2nd ever win here. I believe it's 2nd ever. It's going to be certainly... Oh no, and Freedom Flyer, what's happened? Freedom Flyer, has he retired on track? Where has he gone? Where has he actually crashed? I don't know. Where has he crashed? Freedom Flyer, no, as he retired on track, and I believe he has. Oh, that's not what you wanted to see. That's so gross. Definitely don't want to be retiring on track. I don't know why he did. But I tell you what, that's something that you don't want to be doing. It's going to be 2 laps to go this time by. 4.5 seconds roughly, but Will Ans is starting to close the gap now. The gap has been teetering between 4.7 and 4.5 seconds for the past 2 laps now. Dusty Lusky very close to a maiden win here. Will Ans can smell the top step of the podium, but does he have it in him? Does A-Dub have the potential to make this a battle here with Will Ans? Does he just try his best to hold off? And look at that. That was up to 4.9 seconds just then. But now, look at the ground that Will Ans is making up now. It's now almost down to under 4 seconds. Does A-Dub try to make a move on Will Ans? I don't think I would. Remember, he's battling for a win. Will Ans needs to run these last few laps absolutely spotless. Dusty Lusky has to do more of the same. Dusty's doesn't have DRS, obviously. Will Ans doesn't have DRS, obviously. It's just going to come down to who is really the more pure driver. Oh, this is going to be such a close one to watch here. A-Dub out of the corner now. Super in hot pursuit as well. Jackson Altman, can he find a move on Ray 46? Perhaps. I think he was looking for it. He's really got not much of a reason to make it happen. Valentine down to the inside on Killer XL. That looked a good move. Very nicely done there, actually. Where's my phone going? As it fell. Oh, so that's what fell. I see. Looks like Killer XL and Valentine still battling it out here. And meanwhile, the gap from Dusty Lusky down to Will Ans within 4 seconds now. That is not enough for Dusty Lusky to hold on to the win. Somewhere, somehow, some way, a mistake has been made between those two. And it was Dusty Lusky has done something really good racing here, although it looks to me like it's just a bit elbows out here from both of them. Killer XL, 3 seconds of penalty. Final lap of the Grand Prix. Jackson Altman, can he find a move around Ray 46? He's just doing it for pride at this point. The move isn't going to count. He's going to lose the position anyways. And I think even he realizes that, although, wow, really down to the inside, and picks up another 3 seconds for multiple warnings. just for the hell of it. I tell you what, I believe A-Dub may still get second place after all is said and done. El Majaco is a considerable way behind Super now, outside of 2.5 seconds. I tell you what, he may still have a chance. Killer XL, 3 seconds of penalty. That puts him up to 15. Dusty Lusky, 3.8 seconds the gap now. A-Dub is not going to have DRS. So, perhaps will he stay on the podium? I'm not quite sure. Does Will Ans make a heinous mistake on this final lap, resulting in Dusty perhaps keeping the win? The gap now just teetering on the brink of 4 seconds. It was about 5 just a mere couple laps ago. Ray 46 and Jackson Altman still battling now, and it looks like Jackson Altman really going to the outside. Contact there. Contact again. No, barely not. That did get quite close, though. I'll say that much. Ray 46 way down to the inside. That only took me a couple of tries. Jackson Altman really track extending here side by side, but the big story is Dusty Lusky, can he find a way around the final corner? It's a 3.4 second gap. Where is he going to come out to? You know what that means, though? Will Ans will be taking the win here at Cota, but more importantly, El Majaco is a 3-time champion in Midwest F2, and Virtuosi also. Oh, and look at this, A-Dub's got a puncture and is just barely missed out on the podium. He did everything he could. Very, very good try from the lad. El Majaco, a 3-time champion in Midwest F2. Virtuosi locks up the Constructors' Championship as well. Absolutely brilliant showing from them all season. And it's resulted in a very, very fun season to watch. Will Ans taking the win. Dusty Lusky, oh, he did everything he could, but just couldn't find the win. Majaco third, A-Dub in fourth. What a great showing from the F2 drivers. So after it all, Will Ans takes the win, Dusty Lusky second, El Majaco third, taking the championship, A-Dub fourth, Ray 46 in fifth, Super in sixth, Dirty Boy Jackson seventh, who also helps Virtuosi take the Constructors' Championship, Jackson Omen eighth, Killer XL ninth, Unholy Red Eye 10th, 11th Nikki 64, 12th Shariah Coleslaw, 13th Valentine, 14th Freedom Flyer, 15th Beagle Hunter, and then rounding out the field, P16. Unfortunately, Cake Thomas did not finish. And guys, it's been an absolutely unbelievable season of Midwest F2, and I hope that everybody sticks around for next season. Thank you very, very much for watching and making this one of the most exciting divisions in Midwest F1. We'll see you next time.